Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how you going?
What's good?
Thanks for having us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming out. We've been chopping it up, having a little bit of early kind of pre-recording chit chat. But what's good? What have you guys been doing today, Dylan?
What did I do today? I worked. Hung out with my partner, the dog, and the cat.
Yes.
I watched. What did I watch today? I watched heaps of South Park.
Okay.
Yeah, because the new season came out.
Yes,
And
I saw that episode.
Yeah, it's great. I'm a big fan of South Park, and so is my girlfriend. So
I didn't get to show you guys because I'm sure we would have talked about it.
Yep.
But I do have a full South Park leg sleeve.
sick.
So,
Cool.
but wearing pants.
Yep,
So unless you want me to
absolutely.
take my pants off,
Yeah.
that's the only way you're gonna see it. Stu, what's good? What have you been up to?
Work today. Left home at 3:30 a.m. because I live ages away.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much worked. Been helping my parents out at Croydon, staying a bit there until I move.
Yep.
So I went there, had a shower, played one level of Mortal Kombat, and then
Excellent.
pretty much got ready and came here.
What Mortal Kombat are we talking about?
I'm playing the latest one. I know it's not the best,
Number
but
one. Yeah.
I finished all of them, so
Yeah.
it feels
I like
like
what-
you gotta.
I like watching the trailers because they put like all the most brutal fatalities and
Yeah.
stuff in there as like the selling point. So I feel like I don't even have to play the game. I can just watch the YouTube trailer and see people's spines getting ripped out, and then I'm like, yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Like that.
Hell yeah. Well, I actually have a history in fighting games. I used to play competitive Street Fighter 4 in like the
Okay.
mid 2000s.
On like arcade consoles and shit.
So yeah, I used to play competitive Street Fighter 4 at two notorious arcades in the city.
Mhm.
I used to play like some competitions and stuff, but I used to main Blanca and my second was Kuma. So
Nice.
yeah, so
Was that like something you just fell into? Like you were just like unnaturally good at it, and you were like, I could do this competitively.
well, I grew up in Templestowe, so my local train station was Box Hill.
Right.
And they had an arcade there for years and years and years and years. So I used to pretty much, regular that arcade all the time. And then I got kind of good. And then I got my own copy of Street Fighter 4 when that came out. It blew my mind. Like, because it was hard to kind of get a copy of Street Fighter 3 to play on, like, sort of, like, competitively, because the PS2 kind of copy kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard. Like, that's why we went to the arcade, because the arcade port is, like, the best one. It's always the best
Right.
one.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just kind of fell into it just by going to the arcade regularly.
Did you ever try and like hustle people at the arcade? Did you ever get like guys who were like,
there were a lot of triads around there, so you didn't want to piss off anyone. I'm talking guys with like rat's tails down the feet and machetes in their country road bags. But
okay, fair
yeah, that goes back a bit. But yeah, love fighting games, love Street Fighter. I think it all started with growing up when I heard Killer Instinct in the arcade.
Yeah.
And the reason why that stuck out to me is because Killer Instinct, they always made the machines louder. So
True.
when there's actually I think on YouTube about it. So they would pretty much, when they got the machines delivered to the arcade, there'd be a normal volume,
Okay.
but they'd programmed it to ramp it up later.
True.
Ooh,
So it's like a
sneaky.
marketing thing.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It was like when
sick.
House of the Dead was at the arcade.
Yeah.
They used to do
With
the same thing.
curtains?
Yeah, with the curtains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
That's sick.
It was always the loudest arcade
It
machine.
was. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Well, funnily enough, we are not here to talk about fighting games. And
no, we're not.
as sick as that history is, that's some deep stew lore for everyone.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is.
You guys are here to talk about the band, Blood on My Hands, and the new EP, Death Through Devotion. We're going to be talking all about it, but I guess for people who don't know who you guys are and don't know who the band is,
Yep.
let's do a little introduction. Dylan, can you start?
Sure. Yeah, so I'm Dylan. Everyone just calls me Dyl. I prefer it. Um,
I'm going to keep calling you Dylan.
that's cool, man.
Just because I've already committed.
No,
Sorry.
that's fine. I'm not sure how far you want me to go back. Just in terms of like the band.
Well, just mainly like what you do for the band.
Yeah. No, that's cool. So yeah, I've been with the bands pretty much since it first started. I
Right.
think I was at the first jam.
Yeah.
I don't think you jammed. Did you jam without me before?
No.
Okay, cool.
The first jam.
Yeah, so I had some friends that were playing in the band, and then I got asked to join. That were just like, oh, we need another guitar player.
Mhm.
And I was like, sure, because all I've ever wanted to do is play music and play with my friends. So I was like, of course. I went to the first practice. And yeah, that was in 2018. So Blood on My Hands has been around since 2018. So we've been a band for 7 years. Didn't start out as the primary songwriter. It just kind of ended up that way.
Yeah.
I was definitely brought on just to kind of like assist. And then I've kind of gone from like the last minute addition to being like the primary songwriter and the guy who like runs the ship a bit. Which I didn't want to do, to be honest with you. I never wanted to do that.
You just fell into it.
Yeah, because I hate sometimes having to be the guy to like crack the whip and be like, come on boys, like let's do shit.
We talked about this last guest episode with the guys in Identity Era, but like every band needs like the one admin person.
Yeah.
And I guess like if no one takes it up, like
it doesn't get done.
It doesn't get done.
Yeah.
So like someone has to like
just
be
man.
like, oh, fuck,
And
I got to do
was-
the emails and shit.
Yeah, and that was the lesson that I had to learn the hard way, you know. So, but it's fine. Like I think overall we have a really good, especially like now the band's the best it's ever been. We have a really good like communication style. Stu and I used to butt heads a bit. Stu's chilled out a bit. I've chilled out a bit, and like obviously we are like really good friends. Like he's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot.
I mean, we'll do the beef on the Patreon later. Like, we'll paywall it, and you guys can fucking get into it.
That's cool. But yeah, we're in a really good spot right now, and especially with Harry, our new drummer in the band, it's kind of taken the load off me a little bit in terms of like the admin-y stuff because he's happy to kind of lend a hand with like ordering merch or picking up whatever, you know. So he makes life easier. I'm more of the kind of like reply to emails, reply to DMs, and like let the boys know about shows that come up and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I quite enjoy it.
Yeah, sick.
I went from hating it to loving it.
And Stu, what about you? Soft introduction.
Introduction.
We've already had a lore dump, but we need the official intro.
So, yeah, Stu vocals. Pretty much, I'd never done a band before. Always wanted to start. I guess I wanted to start a beatdown band first.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know how it got onto metalcore. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, that happened. Had never sung. Barely had written any songs, really. And just winged first practice.
Here's a question for you. Without being like, I guess like a natural singer or whatever, or like doing vocals in a band, did you ever like just write lyrics for like the fuck of it, and then
never.
Okay, interesting.
No, never.
So that was like a big step for you too.
Yeah, that was a big step. I kind of just like had to put myself in the deep end.
Yeah,
because I like to overthink things sometimes. Like get stuck in my head
for sure.
So, yeah. So pretty much we had maybe like 2 or 3 practices. Then we played our first show.
Yeah, we did. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we went so quick. We haven't covered a song.
Yeah, we did. We covered Bury Your Dead first show.
Sick.
Camo is my favorite color.
Incredible.
That was with Unravel. We played Cage Existence, Scarnet, Unravel, and another band at Wrangler Studios. Lair put it on.
Yeah,
I can't remember who we have a poster at the gem space of it. But yeah, it was a sick first show.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and obviously all of our friends were there, so
yeah, very
supportive since day one, which is sick.
Yeah, and we didn't even release those songs that we played.
No, those songs are like literally never seen a live day. Like
Dylan and I were talking about this before you got here, Stu. It was like, yeah, the demo Like, we don't talk about the demo.
And I love demos. I am the demo.
Yeah.
I'm the demo guy.
Stu's the guy who's like, I only like the demo.
Yeah.
That's Stu. So
Okay.
we always give him shit for it.
That's what I want. That's what I wanted to pretty much do. Demo metalcore. I always said we'll release the demo and then we'll break up. And then
Perfect band.
Yeah.
we'll blow up in 15 years later on YouTube or something.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've got the introductions out of the way, and the point that you brought up, Stu, about not originally wanting to be a metalcore band, but kind of just like falling into that as well, I have a nice kind of segue jumping off point. So when Dylan and I were chatting about the EP and about getting you guys on the show, sent through all of the artwork, the layout, and all that sort of stuff, which is dope. We're going to get into that in a little bit. But there's a curious kind of quote at the end of it that I want to talk about. So you guys have like the credits section, thank a bunch of people, and then there's like a little like statement of intent at the bottom, which says, this music is for us, not for you. This is hardcore for the outcasts and not for the cool people. Champagne for our real friends and real pain for our sham friends. So let's start there.
Sure.
Is that the ethos of Blood on My Hands?
100%. We were not like considered the cool band for ages.
Okay.
And we kind of like don't like that title. You know what I mean? We're not we don't think that we're better than anyone. And especially in hardcore, like hardcore is a place where people go when they don't fit in to other places.
Sure.
Especially for me, man, like I was a very awkward kid, I had friends and stuff like that, but it was very hard for me to connect with people outside of music. So like being able to talk as an adult now and like
do a podcast,
like
with ostensibly a stranger.
Yeah. But like, that's kind of the beauty of it. It's so easy to connect with someone when you are passionate about the same thing.
Yeah, sure.
So, and especially with hardcore, like I think we all collectively just really don't like people who act like they're too cool. They're like, oh, fuck you. We're too cool for you because we played in this band or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, we don't fuck with that at all. Like, if you're not good with us, we won't be good with you. We don't care who you are. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're all human.
Yeah.
We're all here, doing what we love. And man, all we want to do is play shows. We just want to hang out with our friends. We don't want any bullshit. And if you bring that kind of like negativity into our space, you won't last very long because we'll just be like, fuck off. So, yeah.
Stu, how do you feel about that statement of intent? You're the mouthpiece of the band. You're the vocals.
Yeah. So where I kind of stand on that, sort of same as Dyl. Was bullied a lot in high school.
Right. Until
so-
Street Fighter, obviously.
Yeah,
and then you were the cool guy.
And then occasionally real fighting. We won't get into that tonight. So I was always bullied. I never like really had a place like for hardcore, kind of like dipped my toes into little things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, it's like growing up back then was, hardcore was like pretty intense back then. Like not everyone was accepted and like it kind of felt the same, like a little bit, when I was in high school and stuff like that. But then like growing up as I get older, I realized that's a part of any scene you go into, really.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Pretty much
But
any
hardcore,
any subculture, any like group of people.
For sure.
as long as you stick around, you will be accepted.
Yeah.
You will be accepted.
That's an interesting point, and I wanted to kind of jump off that. You're almost hosting the show better than I am too, so thank you for that. But like being a metalcore band in 2025 kind of denotes a couple of curious things because like it's so broad and it's been around as a subgenre for like 3 decades at this point. So there's like Earth Crisis metalcore. There's like 2000s metalcore.
Yeah.
There's 2010s metalcore. And then there's fucking now.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, this is my bread and butter. I love talking about this shit. And I've been around for all of it. But I guess, like, for you guys in 2025 with this EP, what kind of metalcore are you doing? What's the why this flavor of metalcore specifically?
I think for me, this has always been the stuff that like this has been the music, like this style, the TP has been the type of music that I've been listening to since I was like, I don't know, 13 or 14 years old.
Yeah.
So, and I've always wanted to do a band like that. The problem was that meeting people, they never wanted to do it. You know, they always talked about wanting to do a metalcore band, but then they'd be like, oh yeah, we want to do a metalcore band, and then it'd be like, sick, let's jam. And then they would want to play like metalcore that I didn't want to play. You know, they would be like, oh yeah, I want to sound like this band from like, as you said, like 2010 or some shit. And I'm just like, no, that's not. Because like for me, man, like Killswitch Engage were like a huge inspiration for me. That's how I discovered like Parkway.
I had a very similar trajectory, but we'll go on about that.
For sure.
In a little bit.
For sure. And then like, even like bands like All That Remains, man, like those first few records, like the Fall of Ideals, goated album.
I was chatting to Chris. Chris.
Yeah.
This. Yeah. Because he like sent it to me and he's like, I was today years old when I listened to this record.
I saw that.
He's like, it might be goated. And I was like, interesting point.
Yeah.
Because I always thought of them as like Killswitch Light.
A little bit.
And I know that Phil, he like tried out for them.
Really?
When Jesse left.
True.
And
I didn't know
Howard kind of beat him to the punch.
I mean, Howard's a better vocalist, so
100%.
I would pick Howard.
But I also like, I just don't fuck with that band because Phil's politics are whack, and he's just like a grifted dickhead.
Dude,
so,
he is a giant dickhead, and that's what ruined the band for me.
Yeah, I just can't fuck with it.
When you're young, it's like you obviously don't like deep dive into that stuff, and then when you get older, you're like, oh wow, he's like pro gun, like just a fucking idiot. Basically,
he was on like the Tim Pool like podcast.
True.
Shit. He was like a host. He was like a co-host.
Really?
He was like on the fucking team, and I was like,
dude,
nah, man, that's not for
me. It sucks because like
it's a bit sticky.
Yeah. So like for me, man, like
couple of tracks banned for sure.
Dude, that album in particular, The Fall of Ideals, is a really good, I think, like guitar album.
Yes.
And it was very influential for me to like want to pick up the guitar and like learn it. Like I think the first time I heard ATR was on Guitar Hero 2 and it was the track 6.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I wish that I could play that. You know what I mean? And then like flash forward a couple of years and I'm like sitting in my room trying to emulate Ollie Herbert and Mike Martin because they are crazy guitarists. Rest in peace, Ollie.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ollie specifically was like a really big inspo for me to like want to get into the shreddy kind of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think we can all agree Phil's a dickhead.
I just think it's interesting that you point out like the kind of mid 2000s as like an entry point because I have like a very similar entry point.
Yep.
I had a mate, and I talked about this on the last guest episode. So watching the show, and you've heard this before, my bad. But I had a friend who gave me Poison the Well, Bleeding Through, and Killswitch.
Dude,
and
that's a great introduction.
Dope
and at the time, I was like country bumpkin kid from Queensland.
Yep.
I was listening to like Taking Back Sunday and Brand New. Didn't even know that emo was like a slur for people. I was like, what's emo? I don't fucking know. The songs are good. And I just like had no fucking concept. And I made friends with like this like proper like Sunshine Coast emo kid.
Yeah.
He was like,
yeah,
you'll fuck with this.
Yeah.
He gave me these CDs and I was like, I didn't even know the context of this. It sounds like death metal to me because it's like the heaviest thing I've listened to.
Yeah.
But a couple of years later, someone else is like, you should listen to Parkway Drive.
Dude.
And then I go to a Parkway show, see Every Time I Die, see Amity as the local opener, and that's kind of like the game changer for me. But my point is that the mid-2000s sound has like this real like staying power to it.
For sure.
Because like since that show, like I've been a fan of hardcore and metalcore for like fucking 20 years.
Yeah, man.
Because I'm old as shit.
Yep.
And there are still bands like yourselves and others
Mm.
that continue to like breathe life into that sound.
Yeah.
And definitely try and like, you know, pay homage to that kind of particular era.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a big revival kind of trend in, I want to say like the mid 2010s.
Yep.
And bands like Renounced,
Mm-hmm.
Sea Space Cowboy,
Yep.
that sort of old shit
Yeah,
was
man.
definitely in that vein. So like
Mhm.
there were all these different scenes all over the world. Australia, not so much at the time.
Yep.
But like that sound resonates with people across time.
For sure.
So like, was there ever a conversation with like Stu or other guys in the band of like, we should be doing this? Or did it just come through in the songwriting and the riffs?
Yeah. Good question. I think like originally, especially like asphyxiation era of the band, I was like spamming.
And that's like 2020? Like
yeah, 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. 5 years ago. Holy shit.
Time's a motherfucker.
I was listening to Sanction Flatstick, who were doing like their kind of homage to like bands like Disembodied and that very like dissonant metalcore. And you had bands like even a look like Tourniquet and stuff were doing like very like dissonant. And I
remember that Vane record. Arizona was like
Arizona,
massive at the time.
That's what I mean.
That's when it was all.
That's when it was popping.
Like peak of like the revival of the old metalcore was.
But it was, and it's kind of interesting that you mentioned that kind of like revival because that was the style that was kind of coming back at the time. And then I was like, I hadn't found a band like Sanction that I fucked with like in such a long time. Yeah. Like as much as I fucked with them. So yeah, man, they were really inspiring to me because they had like real dark, like moody songs, but they sounded evil. And I love seeing like the crowd reaction to breakdowns, and like I love seeing my friends look at me and just be like, what the fuck is going on? You know, like we all love that. Like Stu loves that, especially.
Chaos.
It's a great feeling that you're getting what you feel across to other people, and seeing that kind of like visceral reaction is so gratifying as a musician, you know? In terms of like the new sound, I think I just kind of got sick of writing because that sound stuck around with us for a while. Yeah. And I just kind of found myself writing like the same kind of riffs, and I was just like, I didn't feel myself kind of doing anything different, and I was kind of feeling a bit stagnant. So I don't even remember, like, I don't even think we had a conversation. I think it was just kind of like,
I think it was just, I think one day I said you should just tramp pick.
Yeah, it was just like
I went from there.
Yeah, I think Stu might have mentioned from memory. You said something like, "I want to do a song like Undying," and I was like, "I can do that." And then that's the first track off the EP. Yeah, was me being like, "This is the kind of shit that I can do," just to kind of showcase to the band. And then I remember Stu being like, "This is sick. Like whatever this is, let's just do this." Yeah. And it's really hard, like, when you find that sound, like, being able to replicate it again. So we sat on that song, because that song's been written for, like, 2 or 3 years. And we've revised it a lot, you know, just trying to make it better.
It's so good, and it sets the tone for the entire EP. Within the first, like, minute, like, you really kind of know exactly what's coming.
Yeah, it's a short track. It's, like, 2.5 minutes, I think, max. But it was basically me just taking on board what Stu said with the Undying stuff and just being like, okay, cool. Like, what do you think of this? Yeah. You know? And then it was basically like, cause Stu is like, I look up to Stu a lot because like we have very similar music tastes, you know, even though Stu's a bit older than I am, Stu will often come to me and be like, dude, you should listen to this band. And then it's a band that I've never even fucking heard of. And I'm just like, this is sick, you know? So basically what I'm saying is that if I write something and Stu likes it, I'm happy. Okay. Because Stu's always like, he's not afraid to be like, hey man, it's kind of shit, you know, like you can do better. So it's kind of good though, because it challenges me to be like, you know, to kind of like go outside my comfort zone a little bit, like do what I enjoy doing with this, like this type of metalcore that we're doing now, but not be so like kind of boxed about it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that makes perfect sense. Stu, for you, like, was there a particular vibe and tone that you were trying to get across with vocals? Was there kind of like a shift in mind from that kind of older sound to EP?
I mean, I didn't sound how I wanted to sound, but I was kind of finding my voice.
Yeah.
And I think this record, I really found my voice. But
yeah, 100%.
To start off with, I think it was very like, I wanted to like try replicate Unbroken Wings, but it was kind of hard to do. So I was more like, naturally I'm better at doing highs.
Yep.
They're easier to me. They're just really simple. So we started kind of off doing mainly just highs to start off with.
And that's the metalcore sound.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
So
specifically like the late 90s, early 2000s stuff, like lots of like screechy, like high vocal stuff.
Yeah.
Demo was definitely like us learning.
Yeah, for sure. Us finding our feet as like competent songwriters, you know, and like at the time we had Kano in the band.
Yeah, we had Kano for a while.
Shout out Kano.
And we definitely wouldn't be around if it wasn't for Kano.
Yeah, he
helped us put our first EP.
Yeah, he gets it. Like
half of it.
He's such a good kind of bass line, and he like to write music with because he gets it, you know, in like so many different ways. And yeah, like off the original EP, he
understands the music, which is
what
we find people we record with, like, very vital. It's very vital that like people understand the music that we're trying to sort of achieve.
For sure.
Which is kind of hard at the start because there's no drummers in Melbourne. No drummers in Australia.
There's no drummers. Drummers are a rare commodity.
Yeah, but it was all kind of a learning process for me, and the sound that I knew I kind of wanted was like sort of like Unbroken Wingsy mix of like Sanction, sort of like mosh metal sort of vibe.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So I was like, I just want to play breakdowns, and I just want to see my friends mosh and just hit each other. Pretty much. That was like kind of the basis for starting the band.
That was the ethos of the band at the time, for sure.
But I grew up. I started going to shows 2004.
Right.
2004. So I grew up in like the heyday of that metalcore. So that's why I'm so influenced by it, because it was booming so big then. Pretty much it just attracted me to it. And I didn't need anyone to go to shows with. When I first started going to shows, I was going by myself. I got introduced by one person.
Yeah.
I never went to a show with them again.
Sick.
It sucked.
I make my own friends.
Yeah, that's it. So, and then I just started, I think it was Psyche Mind 2007. And I think this was like the turning point for me in that metalcore when I really started getting into it. I was watching a band in All Hope, and they played Keyless Cage.
Fucking a great band that no one talks about, but I fucking love.
Amazing band, really talented, really good recording too.
Yeah, that EP fucking smokes. It's so good.
It's like not far behind Killing with a Smile.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I saw them play a show in Brisbane at like a DAO club that I was like DJing at, and I think they might have played to like 20 people. And I was a mosher back then, and I just remember like really fucking with it. And I was just like, man, this band is psycho. And then like a year later, they're like broken up or whatever. Like, what the fuck?
That's how it goes. It's always the good bands that break up, unfortunately.
Yeah, I saw him. First time I moshed too.
True.
I saw him, that breakdown in Keyless Cage, and I was just like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, sick.
And it just progressed from there. And I think like a real like breaking point for me, like in that music, was Unbroken Wings.
Yeah.
And it took me years to get into it. I hated Unbroken Wings.
Same, dude.
That whole Eulogy Records catalog is like so good. Like I'm a ride or die for Black My Heart.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like
100%.
So fucking good.
It's a given.
But like, that whole catalog, like they had the Warriors, they had Unbroken Wings, they had Black My Heart, like that was a big like gateway catalog of bands. Like I remember they had like a DVD of like their show.
Tour is Hell.
I got that DVD.
Yeah. So sick.
And it's got the Judas Cradle.
True.
Underrated band.
So they toured with Prom Queen, or Prom Queen toured with them in the States on that like very first
really?
tour that they went on.
That's sick.
And I remember
That's crazy.
it's like the meme with like the red twine and kind of like doing like the conspiracy board.
Oh, yeah.
Like I remember like getting into the eulogy bands and then like seeing that they like kind of fucked with some of the Australian bands. It's all connected.
Yeah.
Like they are all doing this thing together.
Yeah.
Just breakdowns. That was it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, man.
They and Shattered Realm.
Oh,
Shattered Realm was a big. Shattered Realm was like fashion style, everything.
Yeah.
When I heard that band, I got changed, man. That band changed me. Yeah, Shattered Realm, especially like because Shattered Realm does have like a lot of like good metalcore elements to it.
Yeah.
As well, like the April Situation.
Dude, the April Situation.
When I heard that song, that changed me.
The April Situation. It's such a weird song on that record. Broken Tie, Spoken Lies.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a weird song because like all of the songs are very like pretty much straight up like kind of beat downy.
Yeah.
And then the April Situation has cleans.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a metalcore song.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the fuck am I listening to right now? This is a different band, you know?
So many of those bands are so dope too because they really ride that line between like being like a metallic hardcore pseudo kind of beat down band, then dipping into like a metalcore sound where you get like something that's a little bit cleaner. Maybe there's some harmonies. They chuck a clean vocal in one song.
Yeah.
Like that's a metalcore song.
For
but
sure.
then there's just like real like just heavy beat down parts in like other songs.
Yeah.
But I was listening to shit at the gym the other week of like Sworn Enemy, Full Blown Chaos, and all these like just bands that like never really popped off. They were always just at like the mid tier.
Yeah.
But like just great breakdowns, like good build ups, huge breakdowns, and then just like really, really good riffs, crew vocals.
Sworn Enemy put out a record in like recently, like the 2020s.
Right.
That was
like 2015 or something, I'd say.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's a good record.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they were still doing shit.
I'm pretty sure that's who I'm thinking of. Just give me like 2 seconds.
Right. Well,
while I verify.
While you look that up, I will say that like when we started talking about the EP and getting you guys on the show, I hit you up, Dylan, and I was like, send me the EP. Like, let's stop dancing around it. Like,
there you go.
I want to hear it.
Game changer. That is a good EP.
I didn't even know that was out.
Yeah, dude. I listened to that when it came out, and some of the breakdowns on that record are crazy.
Yeah.
Really good. So I highly recommend.
I'm going to fuck them.
Really nice dudes as well.
Oh, you met them?
Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, they're really nice dudes.
Yeah.
They played Australia, so.
That's sick. But yeah, when you sent through the EP and I heard it, I sent you an email and I was like, man, this rocks, obviously. I was like, but it sounds like it gave me the feeling of like the first time that I listened to like Don't Close Your Eyes or Your Past Comes Back to Haunt You.
Dude, that is such a compliment. Thank you.
and I mean that with all sincerity because it's like while both of those bands are like two of Australia's biggest fucking metalcore bands and like they have the albums and like more popular songs, like those EPs were the things that I gravitated to when I was getting into metalcore and hardcore. They're the things that I go back to now as a fucking dude in his mid-30s because it gives me that little like dopamine boost of nostalgia and being like, remember when you fucking did a fucking donkey kick in Never Neverland? Like that was cool. You could never do that again.
That's a sick song, by the way.
Yeah. So like, I think you guys managed to capture this particular moment of Australian metalcore and hardcore and breathe kind of new life into it. So
that's what I was aiming for. So I'm really glad that translated. And yeah, like obviously, as I said before, like Parkway is such a big inspiration for me. Not new Parkway. Let's be very clear.
Yeah.
Let's be very clear. The first like 4 albums, goated.
Yeah.
Let's not beat around
the bush. Deep Blue is also a goated album.
Fucking Leviathan.
Dude, that whole album rips. I don't know why. Like, I talk to so many people about Deep Blue and they're like, oh, no, that's where I dropped off. And I'm like, why? Some of the breakdowns on that record are crazy. That's where I dropped off. Dude, why? It's so good.
I commend them because, all right, this is a little bit of a tangent, but fuck it, it's my show. So I'll go off on this. So I remember reading a fucking interview with one of the guitarists in The Devil Wears Prada. And he was talking about how he really fucked with Parkway in like 2011.
Yeah.
And he was like, so many metalcore bands, and he's like, and I'm including my own band, all sound the same. He's like, but what I really love about Parkway is that they went out of their way to record with someone who didn't do metalcore records.
Yeah.
And they were like, we want to make a record that sounds like us, doesn't sound like everyone else. And that 2010s period was like, everyone sounded like Architects and Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah.
And then for Parkway to drop a record like Deep Blue, it was raw as fuck.
Yeah, dude.
The production is admittedly a bit whack for metalcore.
It is.
But it makes it sound so much heavier.
It does.
And so much rawer.
Yeah, man.
Like you listen to Samsara and you're just kind of like,
yeah, dude.
It's fucking it's
Unrest.
raw.
Like all of those tracks, dude.
But that's the sound that you get when you went to those early Parkway shows. When they were playing like mid-cap venues where the pits were actually dangerous and you could get fucking knocked the fuck out. Like that vibe is on that record. They never captured that again, in my opinion.
No,
but
I would agree.
I think like that record is sick because it stands out as an outlier of metalcore bands at that time and even metalcore bands now.
For sure. It's also like, sorry to kind of add to the tangent.
No, dude.
I'm a big Parkway enthusiast. The boys always give me shit for it.
We can talk about this all day. Stu might dip in and out.
That's right. Sorry, matey. But yeah, no.
We get it. You like Parkway.
I do. Yeah, no, for real. Like, and they were another band that was such a like inspiration for me to want to like learn how to play that style of music because the riffs are sick and like they're not fucking easy to play. No. Like even now we jam with our new, like before Stu rocks up, we'll just be jamming songs, and 9 times out of 10 it's me, Bones, and Harry jamming through old Parkway, and he'll be like, oh, fuck, I can't play this riff off Killing with a Smile. And I'm like, don't look at me, dude. I can't fucking play it either because it's ridiculous. So, but yeah, man, like that album as well, going back to Deep Blue, you probably are aware of this, but not a lot of people are aware it's a concept album.
Yeah.
Really?
See what I mean? Not a lot of people know that. And the cool thing about that record, so for everyone listening, it's a record about someone who wakes up one day and kind of realizes that they're not who they want to be and where they want to be in life. So it's kind of like lame, but they go on a journey to the bottom of the ocean and then back again, and then that's how they find themselves. So when that album was out was 2011, I think, or 2010? It was
2010.
2010, yeah. So dude, I was in year 8.
Crazy.
I was in year 8. And like when you're a 14, 15-year-old kid who's like an angsty teenager and like you're kind of having it a bit rough at home and shit like that, like stuff like that really kind of like grabs your attention.
Yeah.
And for me, man, like that album meant so much to me when I was that old. And now like nearly 15 years later, it means even more to me because like I still don't have everything figured out, you know? So like, it's really cool when bands like that kind of like, even though it's in a kind of not straight up way, talk about shit that matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To you. So yeah, man, I will die on the hill that Deep Blue is one of the best records to come out of Australia.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a defining record for Australian metalcore in ways that people probably don't understand fully or really put enough respect on it. But I mean, the last good Parkway record, as far as I'm concerned.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
So that's my take. Stu, we're talking about concept albums, talking about writing lyrics about real shit. What were you writing about on Death Through Devotion?
Love.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah, that's it.
The eternal flame.
Love's a killer, man. Love, yeah. So, I mean, I feel like love's a big fucking topic in
it is
early 2000s metalcore, so I just kind of leaned into it.
Yeah.
With everything I could. Just put everything into it, so.
Did the title come from, the title of the EP, come from a particular song and lyric, or is that like a separate concept that you use to kind of group those songs together?
Yeah, I'd say it kind of explains the whole EP in a way.
It's kind of got a dual meaning when you think about it. You know what I mean? Which I thought was cool.
Okay. Expand upon that for
so
our
like
watchers and listeners.
Death Through Devotion kind of goes both ways.
Okay.
So like if you take it literally, right? Let's not take it so literally. But basically, like, if you're falling all over someone, whether it's bad, good, or otherwise, it's not always good for you and it's not always good for them.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways. And I think, like, we've all probably, you know, been in relationships where we aren't happy, and then, you know, even though it's for the best, it's still sad to see that person go. Like, I've been through that myself.
Yeah.
Stu's obviously been through that. And yeah, man, we kind of got a little bit emo with it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's cool.
We kind of went really emo with it.
Yeah.
Emo in the best way, which is that, like, you wouldn't really know it unless you, like, read through the lyrics. Because I think, like, the delivery definitely isn't, like, sappy or, like, overly wrought in that, like, emo kind of sense, which is still sick, but, like, for a different genre of music.
For sure.
But I think, like, the record is still aggressive. You guys are still doing fucking pit parts and getting people to beat the shit out of each other. But you read the lyrics, and there's definitely some emotional depth going on there, which is dope, because that's, like, again, another experience I had listening to bands in these kind of genres is, like, not really knowing what the songs were about, and then being able to kind of pour through lyrics and be like, oh, it's actually about some real shit. Man. I resonate with that, or I relate to that. So is that something that you were trying to do consciously, Stu, or is that something that just kind of poured out of you?
No, I was trying to, like, I wanted to kind of dive into it and kind of use it as, like, almost like a way to deal with my grief in a way. And, like, I know that, you know, everyone experiences, you know, relationships in their life. So it's something definitely the kids can relate with.
Yeah.
And there's not many bands in Australia that are singing records with huge breakdowns about love.
That's true.
In the kind of way that we're sort of doing it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
I'm sure there's some probably, like, newer sort of metalcore sounding bands, but not us, because I kind of like the chaos. And going back to starting vocals, I think that's how, like, I kind of sort of just lived in hardcore with just the chaos.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it being, like, an absolute war zone. You know?
Yeah, there is like a cathartic experience you have, like, seeing it sounds crazy to say out loud, but seeing your friends beat the shit out of your other friends,
it's the best.
Or, like, you know,
getting the shit beaten out of you by your friends.
The amount of times Stu has, like, smashed me, you know, but, like, it's all love, and, like, you know, it's an experience, for sure.
I think the phrase that I used in the bio for the EP that I helped write for you guys was a catharsis in motion.
True.
Which is, like, a phrase that I've settled on in my own writing about metalcore, because, like, to me that is essentially what it is all about. Like, in the riff writing, in the vocals, particularly in the pit parts, it is this cathartic purging of all of your bullshit, your anger and your emotion and stuff. And
100%.
you either do that by screaming along, you do it by pitting, you do it by beating shit out of someone, but like, it is all coming from the same place.
For sure. Yeah. And that's what I've always wanted for the band too, because, like, everyone's always, like, said that they love Blood on My Hands shows for breakdowns. And I'm like, that's sick. But I love going to shows and seeing my favorite bands, and, like, the highlight of your night is getting a mic grab from one of your favorite bands.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted people to have that with us. I wanted to be that band where people would be like, I'm so stoked I got to go and fucking scream these lyrics at this show, and it made me feel great. Because, like, I remember when I got to do that for Sanction, dude. Like, when Sanction came here to Australia, and they played at Max Watts. I was the only motherfucker in that venue to get a mic grab. I was like, me and this dude was screaming the words the whole time, and that made like my whole year.
Yeah.
And then seeing them again, like a week or so later at the Bendy, and like having the singer remember me and like screaming the words like in my face, like dude, like it's such a nice experience.
Such
man.
a like aggression too.
Yeah.
You know, you see other bands, but especially with band, like that's what I try to kind of replicate with sort of the way I have my like stage presence. Like just try to be like very chaotic when I can. You know, try to put a lot of emotion into it.
It's an outlet for us.
Yeah,
it
should be.
It's an outlet for a lot of people for sure, but like for us, like it really, like there have been times where this band has been the only thing that like I've had where I'm like, I don't want to do anything else. You know what I mean? When like when the shit gets real and like all you've got is your friends and you're like you're all working on music together, man, it like makes your life that much better.
Yeah.
So for me, like without this band, without Stew, who knows, man?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think that's a beautiful sentiment. And I think that really comes through in the music because it is very heartfelt in a very admittedly aggressive way, but like you can hear it in the songs. You can hear it in Stew's delivery. You can see it in the product, the cover,
It's not
art.
even almost like a negative thing, the whole record either.
No.
That's what I kind of wanted to sort of lean on as well. Like, I was like, how do I make like a hard record that's emo, that's not negative,
Yeah.
but is very, you know, like emotionally.
Because
like,
we've done the songs about like wanting to kill people and all that shit, and like you can only do that so much, and you're like, I've got other emotions
I've already got
like,
another beatdown band.
Yeah, like you know,
I don't need that anymore.
we're sweethearts, you know, like we
The
care
boys
about
span
people.
multitudes.
It gets boring, like very boring
it does.
writing that stuff.
It does.
And I think like it's a kind of where we were more like marshmallow, but it's like, you know, sub genre of metalcore, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
We're
why
like, where do we go from here? Do we keep just writing mosh breakdowns?
Yeah.
Or do we write mosh breakdowns with a little bit of extra
For
sauce?
sure.
A little bit of extra juice.
And that's where Unbroken Wings are like the best to do it, because like they have songs about like, you know, systematically speaking, I want to fuck you up, you know.
Yeah.
They have shit like that. But then they sing like, you know, he sings, man, and it's like he's singing about some deep shit, and then you're like, whoa.
I can remember listening to Unbroken Wings and like not fully getting what they were doing because I was like, this is some of the heaviest, like hardest shit,
dude.
And then like kind of like
weird,
like goofy kind of like cleans, and I'm like, damn, like
what the fuck is going on?
It takes a while to like
it's so
Once
funny.
it clicks, you're like, yeah, this fucking rocks.
It's so funny, man. Like Stu showed me Unbroken Wings like years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this dog shit? Like I was like, this recording sucks. Like I was like, the music's all over the fucking place. I don't fuck with this at all.
The time signatures and stuff.
The time signatures are weird. I didn't like the guitar. Like I was so picky, and I was just like, nah, I'm not having it. And then I don't know what happened, man. Just like a couple years later, I was listening to it, and then I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
And like when I don't know, man. It's so weird. Like I've never found another band that has done that for me before.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a bit of work.
Yeah.
Bit of a dedication.
And now I love them. You know, and now I'm like, I can't believe that I ever didn't like them.
And they have huge emo bits.
Huge emo bits.
I'd say they have more emo songs than.
But then they have the most violent breakdowns that I've ever heard.
Suffer is like fucking psycho.
We cover that all the time. That's like the one that we cover.
I didn't even need to practice that one. I was just fucking straight on
running off pure adrenaline.
But yeah, that's because that's it always goes back to Unbreakable Wings. It always falls back into that band for me, and I think they're like a prime example of like, okay, like having like a really emotional sort of like lyrics with like sort of deep meaning, but known to have more violent pits than
that's
big beat.
Those shows, man.
Like some of those,
I've seen footage from like 2003, and it's just like I wouldn't even dare.
The stuff on like that tour DVD, like the eulogy DVD, like the sets look fucking crazy.
Dude, Even now, and like the resurgence of
and everyone was
Unbroken
in
Wings.
gangs back then too.
Yeah,
in the
FSU
US
and stuff. Yeah,
Like-
and like it's cool to see them coming back and doing shows now. And like they're probably not as violent as they used to be, but like it's so sick seeing them get the attention.
Did you guys see the Hellfest?
Yeah,
the Fire, like sets.
They're probably bigger than they've ever been now.
Yeah, they've blown up, dude. Honestly, TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok with the 100%. Yeah.
But this is the cycles of like revival and shit that we're talking about, right? Is it like that stuff endures?
For
Like
sure.
younger kids come through, you know, maybe they go to a fucking Turnstile show first, and they're like, oh, what's hardcore? And then they go to a hardcore show, and then they might see a metal band play and hear a fucking Psycho breakdown, and that changes their fucking life.
Such a gateway, man. And that's the cool thing, touching on like hardcore now. Like before we started, we were talking about how like hardcore went through kind of that weird period where like there were shows, but like they were kind of dead, and like there were definitely no AA shows.
Yeah.
So it's been sick because now, like, especially being in a band, playing a show, an all ages show, and having like literal kids come up and like wanting to buy shirts and like, you know, just being so present and so uncorrupted by the world that you're just like, this has to be cherished. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're not jaded like we are, and they don't know how fucked up the world is yet, and we have to keep that for as long as possible. Yeah. So it's just like, here, dude, have a shirt.
It's quite literally like passing the torch, right? You know,
in a way.
Because like you were once that kid.
Yeah.
Like all wide-eyed at a fucking show with like no mates. I mean, what's going on?
Just wanting to get amongst it.
Just wanting to be there. And then fast forward to now, you have your own band.
Yep.
You're kind of passing that joy and that experience to them. And some of them will pick up instruments and make their own fucking band.
Yeah,
and
dude.
hopefully keep things chugging
and
along.
they'll probably play music better than most of us.
Speaking of community, I wanted to touch on the features on the EP. So before we got started, you were talking about the early days of the band and how you connected with some people overseas who kind of heard the early stuff and were like, hey, this is dope. I'm wondering if that was part of the connection that led to Elijah from A Morning Star being on the record.
So to kind of like touch on the history of it, when we put out Asphyxiation, I don't remember how it happened, but there was this label based in Scotland called Wretched Records.
Okay.
And the guy who ran that was super nice, just like a metalcore nerd enthusiast dude, like loved it.
So all he focused on was like
he just loved and like
old school metalcore.
Yeah, and like specifically in the UK, even now, but like back then it was popping off, and like in the US, like there were bands like Behind Coloured Glass, like all of these like sick bands.
Like
so,
even like Wrist Meets Razor and all that sort of stuff. They're all starting
Wrist
off.
Meets Razor was like starting to pop
Sanction
off.
kind of leaded the way a bit.
Yeah, Sanction were definitely like carrying the torch. And then there were obviously bands like Cauldron, and there's a band from America called Your Spirit Dies. So yeah, man.
We featured them on the show, they're great.
Dude, so I'm pretty sure they were on Wretched with us.
Right.
At the time.
Okay.
Because that's how I found
There's a few
them.
current metalcore bands that were all on Wretched.
Yeah. I think Cauldron might have been as well, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. It was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So forgive me. But so what ended up happening was a lot of those bands have obviously split up over the years because like COVID and shit. But like some of the people in Behind Coloured Glass and are in another band called Spear of Cassius, which play in the States, and they're doing really well. Some other people, Patrick from Long Goodbye was in another band. I can't remember the name.
Creek?
Maybe. They were on Wretched. I can't remember.
Okay. Creek was on Prosthetic.
Okay.
I had those guys on the show.
True. Okay. Well, yeah, Patrick from Long Goodbye. I don't know if you know. Long Goodbye is sick. So, yeah, like, as I said, everyone kind of diverted and went and played in different bands.
Yeah.
A Morning Star is like completely out of the blue, to be honest. Like,
because they're from like Vancouver.
They're from the US.
Okay.
Yeah, Vancouver. Like I think I put up like a guitar cover of like one of their songs, and whenever it's like a bigger band, I'll put it because I have my Instagram account as private and I want them to see it. Yeah. So I'll just post it on the band account. So like for the Red Show, I put up a cover of the Red Show and I just posted it on the band account. You know? Anyway, I posted a cover of them and then they started following us, and then I was just like, try not to nerd out, but I was like, oh, just so, like, big fan, obviously.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, you guys are sick, and I was just like, holy fuck, this is cool. So originally we were gonna have somebody else do the feature, but they weren't able to make it happen. So I was kind of like, we were kind of like, why don't we just ask a Morningstar? Because we've spoken to them before. We're all fans of that band. They're, you know,
it's actually super easy.
It was so easy.
So
I just DM'd and was like, hey, like, we're putting out a new EP. We're wanting a feature. We would love you guys to be on it. Do you want to do it? And then Elijah was like, yep, no worries. I can do it in a couple of weeks. And I was like, sick.
That's awesome.
And it's one of those things where, like, no shade to anyone, obviously, but like a lot of people say they're going to do shit and then it doesn't happen for whatever reason. And, you know, life happens. It's to be expected. So I was kind of like, I was excited, but I wasn't placing all my bets on it.
Sure.
So I was kind of like saying to the boys, like, just in case, you know, we can hit up this person or whatever. So we had options. And then he came through with it. He just sent it through. He's like, oh, what's the email? Sent it through, and he sent us like 3 takes. We picked the best one. Yeah. And it sounded incredible.
Out really quickly.
That's awesome. It was that easy. Yeah. And yeah, super nice guys. So
that's sick.
Which is the stuff that I was saying before, like community and not thinking you're better than everyone. Like, that band is doing really well. And they're still willing to feature on a band not as big as them. Yeah. That kind of like speaks volumes about the type of people that they are.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's like-minded people. You know what I mean? Like, they were once that fucking band. Like, I remember when they put out their first EP, featured it in the newsletter version of the show before we even had a fucking podcast. Yeah. But, you know, like, I've been following that band for years. And, like, they were once at the same point. You know what I mean? So, like, definitely. I don't think they've got, you know, too much of a fucking ego about it. Like,
no. Which is obviously stuff that, as I said, we don't fuck with that. So I'm glad that, you know, because it's such a bummer when, like, you really like a band and then you meet them and then they're dicks. So it ruins the whole experience. You're just like, fuck, man.
I was like that with Sanction, but they were really nice.
Yeah, I was.
No, I don't want to meet them.
I was really afraid of meeting Sanction. Like, and then I met all of them and they were like, that. You could tell they were tired, obviously, but they were still like really grateful and like, oh, you know, thank you for coming out and buying merch, and, you know, they were nice people.
Yeah.
So
that's dope.
Yeah.
Because I've definitely met some like bigger bands and they are
dicks. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But they, you know, I don't know, as you get bigger, they're probably so tired. So
for sure, man. Well. For sure. Yeah.
There's some times where people are just, straight up just probably not a nice person.
Yeah,
because I'll ask other people, like, hey, was that guy like kind of weird? And they're like, yeah, he was really standoffish. I was like, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
And then the other feature is Dermot from Horsepower.
Yeah.
Which I think is like a sick connection to the Melbourne hardcore scene because they're doing crazy good.
Yeah.
I just saw them play support for Touche Amore.
Yep.
That was dope.
Yep.
And like, they're a band that has a very like kind of signature kind of style
for sure.
of what they're doing within kind of like the Australian hardcore landscape, which I think is sick.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you guys are mates, and that's kind of the vibe.
Stu kind of lined that up. I don't know. How did you just hit him up? I think he was doing merch for us.
I heard him singing like acoustically.
True.
I was like, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like, I can ask him.
I remember Stu saying that.
So
he
is
was
he
really
doing the
singer.
cleans on that track?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Derm.
All right.
Yeah. And I've come to find out that like he's actually a big metalcore guy.
Right. Okay.
So, because I saw them play. I went to the Iron Man show at Howler.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what shirt he was wearing, but he was wearing a metalcore shirt. And I was like,
some deep cut.
That Taste of Chaos shirt he wears.
Yeah.
It's like Behind Crimson Eyes and stuff like that.
He wears like, he
but
gets it. Yeah, we haven't had like heaps of chats. Like we've said hey and whatever. He messaged me the other day and was like, oh, I'm so keen to hear the release. And I obviously said thank you for being on it and stuff. But yeah, like he gets it, you know? So, and that's obviously very important to us.
Yeah.
And it's cool, like, to have a singer do something, or a vocalist, I should say, do something that people aren't going to be expecting. You know what I mean? Because then people are like, whoa. Because it showcases their talent, but it also kind of like helps, you know, make our song better too.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
I've talked about it before with like different guests on the show, but like it's very obvious to me when bands have a feature just for the sake of having that person, and it's very much like a clout chasing type thing.
For sure.
And you can hear it in the performance where you just kind of like, that didn't add anything to the song. Those probably aren't even like their lyrics. They're probably just like the lyrics that were already in the fucking scratch track or whatever.
Exactly.
So it's like, why do this? Like it should be something that, like you say, like shows off their talent, but also like feeds back into what you guys are doing and enhances the entire vibe of the thing, which it does. Like I didn't even have any idea that was doing the cleans.
We also both wrote the lyrics on it. It's like half and half.
Yeah.
And that's also my favorite track on the EP. I was telling Dylan over email. So like, it bangs.
Cool. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Thanks, matey.
We've just hit an hour, so we'll wrap up some of the main show stuff now, and then if you guys are cool, we'll do some Patreon stuff in a bit.
For sure.
So 2 other things I wanted to chat about are the art design for the EP. Because I think not only in the sound, and the vibe, and the lyrical stuff that we've touched on, the presentation of it is, I think you guys will agree, like very important to this particular era and vibe of stuff that we've been talking about.
Definitely.
And there are bands that I love dearly and fuck with to this day, purely based on how sick the album cover was.
I'm so glad that you mentioned this. I can't wait to get into it.
And that was like the one thing that like got me into a band without even knowing who they were or knowing anything about their music. And I'll say that the direction on this EP looks so fucking sick. Like the cool blue tone.
Thanks, man.
The band promo shot. Shout out to Beth.
Beth killed it.
She killed it. Yeah. The live shots from Chris, friend of the show, fucking killed it. Like everything about it rules. Yep. So I guess like let's start there.
For sure.
Did you guys have a vision in mind of like how you wanted to package this thing?
Honestly, I think we all we practice like weekly.
Definitely lent into our influences.
For sure.
What we see.
We practice every Sunday at like a jam space, and we jam the songs, and then we'll sit for a bit and kind of talk about like, you know, shows or whatever's going on.
Yeah.
And obviously like the focus for the past kind of like 2 or 3 months has been this EP. So we like nutted out everything. Like we didn't specifically sit down and say we wanted it to look like this or anything, because I'm a firm believer in letting the artists kind of do their thing.
Yeah. It was a wise choice.
Yeah, and Surgical gets it. Again, someone who gets it.
Yeah.
I did have, like, we all kind of decided we did want to have, like, a band promo in there. We did want to have, like, individual photos of ourselves in there. And we did want to have the lyrics and obviously, like, the thank you section and stuff. But as far as the layout and the art go, that was all Surgical. Yeah. He just, like, knocked it out of the park.
Crushed it.
So,
it looks so fucking
and
sick.
we were so happy with it because, like, we've had art.
Art is, like, cover art is crucial. Yeah. Because when you're scrolling through YouTube, I mean, this is how I look for music. I don't usually deep dive on Spotify because, you know, you want to find the rarest sort of stuff.
I'm a Bandcamp guy. Yeah. And, like, I'll jump from, I'll go from, like, Bandcamp to Bandcamp to Bandcamp, and I'll go down to the bottom, and it's like, you know, you might be interested in these based on this one or whatever.
Yeah.
For fans of.
Yeah. And I'll leapfrog from, like, band to band, record to record.
Yep.
And if I see a cover that fucking stops me in my tracks, and I'm like, that looks fucking sick. What's that about? I'll click on that shit.
Yeah.
So I would do that for this EP. I'd be like, what the fuck's going on there?
It's obviously very like on the nose too, like the whole angel metalcore vibe, and like, you know, everyone's been saying like, oh, angel metalcore, and I'm like, but it's part of it, you know.
You're leaning into it.
Yeah,
you guys are aware of the bit
for sure.
You're doing the
we
bit.
know what we're doing.
We know what we're doing.
You're leaning into it. Yeah, exactly.
That's the shit that we love.
Yeah.
So
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, shout out to Surgical. Like, they fucking crushed the whole art design, the layout. Yeah. I guess, like, I wanted to kind of shout out a couple of records that I think got me thinking of the kind of direction. And we were kind of talking about this before, but like Martyr AD's
American Hollow,
and On Earth as It Is in Hell, I think is the record. The blue one with like the fucking spirit, ghost, angel, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah,
like
one of my favorite records.
incredible record.
Yeah.
But that's the type of stuff that got me into metalcore. So then like listening to the EP and seeing everything that you guys have packaged around it, I was like, oh, what other dope records have like sick blue covers? And then I was like, going back to Renounced, going back to Undying, going back to Morning Again. And I was like, putting together like a mood board, like a fucking Pinterest of all my like little colors. And I was like, where's all my blue metalcore records at? Are there any kind of like records that inspire you guys in terms of like art direction? Like shit that like you would go back to just based on the art?
Undying for me.
Undying, I would say maybe not the art style, more so like the layout and stuff.
Yeah.
I would say like Sanction.
Okay.
Sanction do it really well with their I don't know how to explain it, but like, you know, it's like in their film clips. You like, you know, the film clip for like 631 or whatever it is, and you're just I can't remember what song it is, but they've got a film clip and it's basically just like a snuff film. And you're just like, what the fuck am I seeing right now? And it gives like that kind of like, you're looking at it and you're like, kind of like weirded out by it, but also curious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Morbid curiosity.
Morbid curiosity, exactly. That's what I was looking for. So yeah, definitely like the way that they kind of have like their photos on like the background with like the lyrics, and whoever designed their stuff just gets it.
Yeah.
But there are heaps of bands like that. Like Tourniquet did shit like that.
Yeah.
Even like going back to what you said, like Martyr AD and stuff, they did all that.
Yeah.
Like Prom Queen obviously did it back in the day. Parkway did that too.
Yeah.
You know, so
I think packaging is like so important. And like, I guess like with physicals not being as big a part of like release markets and shit, like to get into all the like the business stuff, like it's all very much like streaming and whatever now. But like, if you're a real head, you know that like the packaging and insert and reading the credit section, reading the thanks, scrolling through to see like the other bands that they shout out on the record so you can go and fucking look them up. The fucking band shirts that they're wearing in the promo. Like, what fucking band are they repping? Like, I'm going to go listen to them.
For sure. Yeah.
So all of that shit is in this EP, which I think is so dope.
Awesome.
I'm glad you guys are kind of carrying that forward as well.
I'm glad you like it. I hope we hope everyone likes it as much as you do.
Well, speaking of everyone, to wrap up, let's talk about the tour. So
yes,
the record comes out on the 1st of August, and by the time I edit all of this and put it up, it'll already be out. So go run it up. But then you will have also announced the release tour.
Yes.
And you guys are going around the country. First headline tour, correct?
First like proper tour for the band.
Australian.
We've had
East Coast headline tour. Adelaide.
We've had a few. Like we've definitely played interstate shows. We've played in New South Wales a few times. We've played in ACT. We've played in Adelaide so many fucking times. Adelaide is like second home for us.
Yes.
So we love going to Adelaide. We have so many friends there. Every time we go to Adelaide, people turn out for us. And Adelaide just has so many sick bands.
They don't even buy merch. It's just our friends.
Just our friends turn up.
Like,
and you know, the bakery, like we just go to the bakery after the show, and it's always a good vibe in Adelaide. So we love Adelaide.
It's kind of crazy a bit too.
Oh, Adelaide's fucked, but like in the best way possible. But yeah, so first 2 weekends of September, we're going to be hitting Adelaide first, and then we're doing 2 shows in Melbourne, and then we'll be doing Queensland, Sydney, and Canberra.
First time in Queensland?
Yes, first time in Queensland. So
should be exciting. Yeah,
I'm keen to get up there and once again like play for our friends and play with our friends, and you know, it's just, this is the shit that Stu and I have been wanting to do since the band first started.
Yeah.
But it kind of feels like...
It feels so much more natural now.
Yeah, it does.
I think taking your time with it to kind of have a release this strong and to kind of have, like you were saying, like the best kind of lineup of the band yet,
Yeah.
and kind of have everything kind of locked in,
For sure.
makes a lot of sense.
100%.
So
It's perfect timing. It took a while.
Yeah.
And like we've definitely had a few members kind of come and go from this band, but like the band is the strongest it's been since it started. Everyone is in the band for the same reason. We're all really good friends. We all hang out with each other outside of the band.
Yeah.
We do our own counselling.
Yeah. Yeah, we have really good like ways of communicating and stuff. And yeah, like it took a while, but this tour is basically like the pinnacle of what we've been working towards thus far.
Yeah.
So,
and you're also bringing Ends in Tragedy.
Yes, we
along for the
are.
ride.
Yeah.
Good little young band.
Yeah, for sure. They remind me of us when we first started a little bit.
I saw them on the recent, I think it was the Fall Weather show that they played with Gravitate.
Yep.
Because I've been hearing a lot about them. They've been getting a little bit of hype.
Yep.
And I was like, I want to go see what's going on. And they were dope. They were like just so hungry and enthusiastic for it.
Yep.
At one point, they played like a medley of like a Parkway song.
Yep.
And then just like smash cut into a Parkway song and just played like the pit parts from both.
Yeah.
And I was like, I fucking love this. I was like,
yeah,
this makes me feel fucking 18 again.
For sure. They are like what we were talking about.
They get it.
Yeah, they get it. And they are part of that revival because that's the younger generation. Like, you know, we're all kind of, except for Bones. Bones is like 22. But like, you know, I'm going to be 30 soon. Yep. Harry's in his 30s. You're in your 30s.
I'm 37.
Leezy, how old's Leezy in his 30s? Late 20s?
I think Leezy's in
his 30s. So we're all kind of like, we've all been playing in bands for a minute, except for Bones. This is, you know. But like to see these kids kind of come out of nowhere and like do as well as they have musically straight out the gate.
That EP that they put out this year, fucking
it's
rocks.
Sick.
So good.
So we were like, it's a natural fit to take a band who fucks with metalcore as much as we do.
Yeah.
You know.
And really kind of showcase like what's going on in Melbourne. Like,
exactly.
You guys kind of like take that shit on the road and be like, this is what the Melbourne sound is right now. Like, that's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's our time to shine.
Multiple sides to hardcore, you know.
Absolutely.
You see hardcore bands, you know. You see metalcore bands.
But that's kind of the best thing. Like, I was thinking about this.
Death metal, mixed bill sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think metalcore's the revival metalcore. Let's say this is the second or third wave, right?
Probably the third.
I'd say third wave.
I think we're on like fourth or fifth wave, I reckon. But yes.
Third for me.
Third for me too. But
it's never kicked off in Australia, the revival, fully until now.
No, I would agree with that 100%.
So I was thinking about this on the way over here. Like, you listen to a band, and as Stu said, it can be a death metal band, or like if you listen to Final Resting Place, you know that even though it's like so intense and whatever, you listen to the drums and the guitar and the way that the songs are written, you go, these are hardcore dudes.
Yes.
And that's what we wanted to get across. Because like a lot of those New Jack metalcore bands, they're not doing that. They don't care about hardcore, which is fine.
Yeah.
Like, that's their vibe. We don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
Like, we are very much metalcore people, and we want like hardcore metalcore people that want to like get that vibe across. When you listen to it and you're like, this is a hardcore band. It falls under the hardcore umbrella, you know?
And that's where like, you know, not to get too fucking nerdy with it, but like that's where the genesis of metalcore as like a subgenre really comes from. It was hardcore fucking dudes doing metal tuning and being like, well, let's do something with like fucking crew vocals, but also do like a Sepultura down-tuned fucking like beat down passage. Suddenly we have metalcore. So like it's always been like hardcore dudes playing stuff outside of the hardcore toolkit. That is kind of like the core of all of these revival kind of waves. So I agree with you 100%. I mean, Parkway are fucking hardcore dudes.
100%.
I mean? Maybe not now.
Now.
But they were.
But if you listen to, like, you can, I also hear it with the drums. Like, I have this conversation a lot. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just the way the drums are written. Like Whispers, dude. You know, you hear, like, even just listening to the drummer, they blew me the fuck away, by the way.
Oh, incredible.
Incredible band.
So good.
We want to go to Southeast Asia immediately because we want to be like, what the fuck's going on over here?
I'm going to Thailand for a wedding in March, and I like got home and I was immediately googling like Concrete Jungle Fest to try and see if the dates lined up, which they do not.
Oh, dude, that sucks. That's the worst. But yeah, like you listen to the drummer, and that's the dead giveaway for me.
Yeah.
I don't know, like you hear like a couple of kicks before a snare, or there's like 2 snare hits and just shit like that kind of your stock standard New Jack metalcore bands are not doing.
No.
You know?
It's in the DNA.
Exactly.
The
you can hear it.
and the little cues.
Because the musicians they started becoming musicians because they went to shows.
Yes.
And that's the difference. Because they went to hardcore shows and they were like, I'm trying to emulate this. And through emulation comes innovation.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's sick. It's a good time to hardcore's in a really good spot right now.
I completely agree. I think let's pull up the main show here. We'll have a little bit of a break, and then we'll quickly run through some Patreon stuff before I let you guys go.
Cool.
But Stu, Dylan, thanks for coming on the show.
No worries. Thank you for having us.
Hello, Owen popping in to say, please sign up for the TPD Patreon. This is what helps us keep the lights on and keep the show going. The link is at the bottom of your screen right now, patreon.com/tpdpod. All of our patrons get exclusive access to Side B of our roundup episodes, so you get a few extra tracks, as well as our feature album discussion and the full show experience. Our patrons also get exclusive access to behind-the-scenes, off-the-cuff chit-chat from all of our guest episodes. But the patrons are the ones who make all of this happen. For as little as $5 a month, you can sign up to the TPD Patreon, and it really helps us out, really helps us keep the show going. So shout out to all of our patrons, shout out to our executive producer patrons, you're the real ones, and thank you so much for watching the show.